Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Comfort Zone.
Hi, everyone. We're really happy you're here with us today.
If you're new here, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us share more English conversations with you. So, what are we talking about today?
Right, so today we're diving into something that happens every single day in the office.
Oh, yeah.
It's something some people absolutely love and honestly, some people really, really hate. We're talking about small talk.
Small talk. I know exactly what you mean.
You know, those little casual conversations you have with colleagues, maybe before meeting starts or when you're just waiting for the elevator.
It's that moment, isn't it? When you see someone in the kitchen making coffee and you think, okay, should I say something or should I just look at my phone?
Exactly. It can feel a little bit awkward. You're just standing there waiting for the elevator. The door is open. You walk in, a colleague walks in, and then just silence.
That silence can feel so loud. You're just watching the numbers change. Floor 1, floor 2, and you're wondering, is it rude if I don't say anything?
But even though we call it small talk, it's actually a pretty big deal, isn't it?
It really is. I was reading some notes on this, and it turns out that small talk is, well, super important for building trust. It just makes the office feel more friendly.
That makes so much sense. I mean, think about it. You can't really become friends with someone if you never chat with them.
Right.
And it's definitely harder to work with people if you don't know them even a little bit.
That is so true. It helps you find a connection, and when you have that connection, it's just so much easier to work together later on.
How do you mean?
Well, for example, if I need to ask you for help on a really difficult project, it's a lot easier if we've already, chatted about coffee yesterday.
Right. It builds a little bridge between people. But I think the hardest part is always the beginning, the start. How do you usually start a conversation? Do you have a favorite phrase or something?
I do, actually. I like to use what we can call context comments.
Context comment.
Yeah.
That sounds a little technical. What does that actually mean?
It sounds fancy, but it's really simple. It just means commenting on something that's happening right now in the environment around you.
Okay, so give me an example.
Sure. Imagine we're both in the office kitchen. We're both waiting for the coffee machine. I might say something like, "This coffee machine is a lifesaver."
I love that. This coffee machine is a lifesaver. It is so true, too.
It really is. And it's a great way to start because you're both experiencing the same thing. You're both there waiting for coffee. You're in the same context.
I see. So you're not asking a difficult question. You're just making an observation.
Exactly. It just breaks the ice. It stops that awkward silence. You could do it with other things too, like maybe the printer's broken again.
Oh, the printer's always broken.
So you could just say, "Oh no, not the printer again." And your colleague will probably laugh and say, "I know, it's terrible." And now you're talking.
I think my favorite way to start is the classic one, the weather.
The weather. I know it's kind of a stereotype, especially for British people, but everyone talks about the weather.
They do. And there's a good reason for that. It's a safe topic.
Right.
Everyone experiences the weather. And usually, nobody has a strong, angry opinion about it.
That's true. Unless
Yeah.
it rains on their vacation.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally it's safe. So what kind of phrases do you use for the weather?
Well, if it's a hot day, I might say something like, "It's really hot today, isn't it?"
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's raining, I could say, "I wasn't ready for this rain."
I wasn't ready for this rain. I like that one. It's simple. And the other person can easily say, "Me neither. I forgot my umbrella."
And boom, you're having a conversation. It's low pressure. You don't have to be clever or funny. You just have to be friendly.
Exactly. But once you finish talking about the rain or the coffee, you kind of need to move the conversation forward.
Yeah, you can't talk about rain for 10 minutes.
Please don't. That would be so boring. So you need a next step.
A great next step is to ask about time off.
You mean like the weekend?
Yes, exactly. If it's a Monday or a Tuesday, you can just ask, "How was your weekend?"
And if it's a Friday?
Then you can ask, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?"
I use that one all the time.
Oh.
Any plans for the weekend? It's friendly, but it's not too personal.
Right. If they want to tell you about their family, they can. They might say, "Yeah, I'm taking my kids to the park." Or if they're just tired, they might say, "No plans, just gonna sleep."
And either answer is totally fine. It gives them a choice. What about holidays? Or like summertime?
Oh, that's the best time for small talk. You can ask about travel, something simple like, "Have you been anywhere interesting recently?"
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
People love talking about their holidays. It makes them happy to remember their trip.
It really does. But I have to admit, sometimes I panic.
You panic? Why?
Well, I'll ask about the weekend, and they'll say, "It was good." And then it's just silence again. My mind goes completely blank. I don't know what to say next.
Oh, I think we've all been there. That awkward silence comes back.
Yes. So is there a trick or something to help with that?
There is. I learned a method called FORD.
Like the car company.
Exactly like the car, yeah. It just helps you remember some good topics to keep the chat going.
Okay, I'm interested. Let's break this down. FORD. What does the F stand for?
F stands for family. Now, you have to be a little bit careful here. You don't want to be too intrusive.
Right. So I wouldn't ask, why aren't you married? Or something.
Oh, definitely not. That's very rude. But if you know they have children, asking how are the kids is really nice. Or just, did you see your family this weekend?
That's a nice general question. It shows you care about them as a person. Okay, so what's O?
O is for occupation. That just means work.
Ah, work. The one thing we're all doing while we're having small talk. But isn't it kind of boring to talk about work? At work?
It can be, but it's also really easy. It's something you both share. And you can ask about it in a friendly way. It doesn't have to be about stress and deadlines.
That's a good point. So what could I say?
You could use a phrase like, what are you working on at the moment? It shows you're actually interested in their job.
I like that. Or maybe, how's that project going? It gives them a chance to share some news.
There's also a really common business phrase that fits in here, touch base. Have you heard that one?
Oh, yeah. Let's touch base. You hear that all the time in English-speaking
It
offices.
sounds like baseball, doesn't it?
It does. It just means, let's talk briefly or let's make contact. So you might say, let's touch base tomorrow about the project.
It sounds professional, but it's also casual. It's a good phrase to have.
Okay, so we have F for family, O for occupation. The next one is R. What's R?
R stands for recreation. This is my favorite one.
Recreation. So hobbies and fun stuff, right?
Exactly. This is where you find out what people actually like to do. It helps you connect on a deeper level.
For sports fans, this is so easy. You can always ask about the big game.
Yeah. You can just say, did you catch the game last night?
Did you catch the game? That's a very natural way to say it. Instead of, did you watch? Rose saying, did you catch? Sounds very native.
It does. It sounds more relaxed. But, not everyone likes sports. I'm not a huge sports fan myself.
That's true. So if they don't like sports, what can we talk about?
Movies and TV shows are perfect. Almost everyone watches something. A great question is, have you seen that new series on Netflix?
Oh, everyone is watching something on Netflix. That's a guaranteed conversation starter. And people love to give recommendations.
Yes. If you ask, I need a new show to watch, have you seen anything good? They'll probably talk for 5 minutes straight.
That's a great trick. Ask for a recommendation. Okay, so finally, the D in FORD. What is D?
D stands for dreams.
Dreams. That sounds very deep. A bit philosophical for the office kitchen.
It does, but in small talk, it usually just means future plans or goals. It could be travel goals, like, where do you want to go for your next holiday?
Ah, I see. It's about the future. But I think for the most part, F, O, and R are usually enough to keep a nice conversation going.
I agree. Family, occupation, recreation, those are the big ones.
So we have a lot of good topics. But are there topics we should, stay away from? The danger zones.
Oh, definitely. There are some topics you just should not touch in the office. Generally, we say you should avoid politics, religion, and money.
Politics and religion make sense. People have very strong opinions. You don't want to start an argument at the coffee machine.
Exactly. Small talk should be light and easy. Arguments are heavy.
But what about money? Why is that a problem?
Well, in many English-speaking cultures, like the US or the UK, money is seen as very private. Asking someone, how much money do you make, is, it's seen as really rude.
Yeah, I would feel very uncomfortable if a colleague asked me that. It feels intrusive.
So just never ask about salary. And there's one more thing to avoid. Gossip.
Gossip. Talking about other people.
Yes. It can be tempting. Did you hear about Sarah? Did you see what Mike did? It just makes you look unprofessional.
That's true. And if you say bad things about a colleague, the person who's listening might think, well, maybe she says bad things about me when I'm not around.
Exactly. It destroys trust. So keep it positive. No one trusts a gossip.
Speaking of positive, let's talk about the vibe of the conversation.
The vibe, yeah. The feeling or the atmosphere.
Right. Small talk should generally be positive. Even if you're tired or stressed, small talk isn't really the place to complain a lot.
So if someone asks, how's your day? I shouldn't say, it's terrible, I hate everything, I want to go home.
Please don't say that. It makes the other person feel so awkward. They don't know what to say. They can't fix your problems for you.
So what should I say if I am feeling stressed?
You can be honest, but in a polite way. You could say something like, Not too bad, just ticking things off my to-do list.
Ticking things off my to-do list. I like that. It means you're busy, you're working hard, but you're not complaining.
Exactly. You just sound productive. It keeps the whole interaction light.
Now, something that's really fascinating is cultural differences, especially between, say, the US and the UK.
Yes. This was so interesting to me. We often think English is the same everywhere, but the style of communication can be really different.
How so?
Well, generally speaking, Americans are often seen as very enthusiastic and direct. British people might be a bit more indirect or understated.
Understated. That means they don't show their feelings as strongly, right?
Right, and this can cause some serious confusion. For example, take the phrase, quite good.
Okay, quite good.
If an American says, that presentation was quite good, they usually mean it was very good. They're really happy with it.
And if a British person says it,
If a British person says, well, it was quite good, they might just mean it was okay, or maybe even a little disappointing.
wow, that is a huge difference. So an American colleague might think they did a great job, but their British boss is actually not that impressed.
Exactly. You have to listen to the tone of voice so carefully.
I have another one like that, the lunch invitation.
Oh, tell me about the lunch invitation.
So in the US, if someone says, let's do lunch soon, it's often a genuine invitation. They actually want to go to a restaurant with you.
Okay.
They might even get their calendar out right then and there. But in the
What
UK,
happens in the UK?
let's do lunch soon might just be a polite way to say goodbye. It's a nice thing to say, but they might not actually mean to set a date. It's just a friendly way to end the chat.
That is so tricky. So if a British person says that to me, I shouldn't wait by my phone for a call.
Probably not. Just say, yeah, that would be lovely, and carry on. If it happens, it happens.
It just shows that language isn't only about the words, it's so much about culture, too.
Absolutely. But no matter where you are, one skill is always important, and that's listening.
Listening is key. But you can't just stand there silently, can you? That would be a bit creepy.
Yes. Don't be a statue. You need to use active listening. You have to show you're engaged in the conversation.
So how do we do that?
We use little phrases to encourage the other person. Things like, really? Or, that sounds fun.
I use no way a lot. If someone tells me they met a famous person, I'll say no way.
No way is perfect. Or even just, tell me more. It makes the other person feel really good. It makes them feel like what they're saying is interesting.
And when people feel interesting, they like talking to you. It's like you're giving them a little gift, the gift of your attention.
That's a beautiful way to put it. But here's a problem I have sometimes. We're having a nice chat. I'm using active listening. But I really need to get back to work.
You're trapped in the conversation.
Yes. How do I stop talking? I don't want to be rude.
This is the hardest part for so many people. You don't want to just turn and walk away. That would be very strange.
Right. I can't just say, stop talking now and leave.
Definitely not. But don't worry. There's a really simple 3-step method to end a chat politely. It works every time.
Okay, I'm ready. What's step 1?
Step 1 is the transition. You use a transition word like anyway or well, and you combine it with something nice.
Okay, so I can say, anyway, it was so good to see you.
Perfect. The word anyway signals that the conversation is changing direction. It tells the other person's brain, okay, we're wrapping up now.
Got it. Anyway, it was so good to see you. That's nice. What's step 2?
Step 2 is the reason. You just give a brief reason why you have to go. It doesn't have to be a big emergency or anything.
So I could say, I should get going. I have a meeting in 10 minutes.
Exactly. Or, I need to finish this report before lunch. Just a simple, believable reason. Okay. So far we have. Anyway, it was so good to see you. I should get going. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. What's step 3? Step 3 is the future plan. You just propose a quick future action or say a nice goodbye phrase.
Like, let's grab lunch next week.
Yes. Or even simpler, I'll talk to you later.
So let's put it all together. Anyway, it was so good to see you. I should get going. I have a meeting in 10 minutes. Let's grab lunch next week.
That sounds perfect. It's polite, it's professional, and you are free to go to your meeting.
And you didn't hurt anyone's feelings.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation.
You know, talking about all of this, it makes me realize that small talk is really just a skill. It's like a muscle.
A muscle.
Yeah. If you don't use it, it gets weak. But if you exercise it, it gets stronger.
That's a great analogy. You just have to practice.
So, for everyone listening, don't feel like you have to memorize everything we said today. Just try one thing. Maybe in your next conversation, try asking about the weekend.
Or try making a context comment about the weather or the coffee machine.
Or even practice that polite exit strategy.
Ah,
Anyway, I should get going.
yes. Just try one new phrase. You might be surprised at how much easier the conversation feels.
And remember, even if it feels a little awkward at first, that's okay. We're all just trying to connect with each other.
Absolutely. That's all for today. We hope you feel a little more ready for your next chat at work. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to tell us in the comments, what is your favorite small talk topic? See you next time.
Bye, everyone.